I'm from Houston, Texas. I spent 42 years living there. I moved there when I was 8 years old. My mom and dad lived in Costa Rica, and that's where I was born until Dad decided to go back to the U.S. So we went back to the U.S. and I went to school there, grew up there in Houston, Texas, and mostly the west side in the Katy area. So that's where I'm from. Just like you have bad people, you have good people, right? So the good people seem to outnumber the bad, and it's really warming when you meet people like that. This country's full of them all over the place. Tourism should be through the roof in this place because it is absolutely amazing how you can leave this hotel right now where it's a desert. You have desert mountains that are green right now because it's been raining, but normally when I came here in June it was dry, so everything was brown. It was like a spark could start a fire and then everybody's doomed, you know. And then you can drive 45 minutes from here and you're up in the mountains where the weather is cool. It's a wet tropical jungle, so it's really a lot of trees, a lot of iguanas, monkeys. You can see all kinds of cool birds. We were actually there this Sunday. It's called Minca. You can rent a car from the Rodadero here. They'll rent a car for 120,000 pesos, which is maybe around $31. And for the whole day, and you can just drive up there until the road ends and then turn around and come back. And you know, it'll take you a whole 5 hours to do that tour. There's places that you can stop along the way up in the mountains where they'll have a beautiful lookout where you can just see the mountains. And they have this one in particular, they call it Mirador. And when you get there, you can see Barranquilla on one side and then a bunch of mountains, and then you see Santa Marta from the other side. And when you go all the way up to the top, if you can make it all the way up there, that's a 2-day trip though. You have to park the car and then do a lot of walking. And when you get up to the top, you'll be able to see the snow-capped mountains that are behind this, what's it called? The Nevada, Sierra Nevada. It's really beautiful. And then there's God knows how many beaches in Santa Marta. Holy moly. You can go and start from the Rodadero and you can get on a little boat and they charge you like $20, $30. It depends on what beach you want to go to. Actually cheaper, some of them are like $10. And you can just go from beach to beach. Bring snorkeling gear because the water is absolutely clear. It's amazing. I don't know if you got a chance yet to get into the water in Rodadero, but it looks like there's gold pieces floating around in the water. So now you see why the Spaniards came and said, "Oh my God, there's gold here somewhere." And you know, they got to fighting with the locals for gold, and they're like, "No, there's no gold here. The gold is in Cali." So they sent them in town. And I just, when you look at those jungles, like I have seen since I've been here, it makes you wonder, what were they thinking and how long did they take to get to Bogota, to get to Cali, to get to Medellin on this rough terrain, these mountain ranges that are just outrageously high. You know, Santa Marta, they say, is the tallest mountain range in the world that's next to an ocean, right? So next to a body of water, you're not going to find anything higher or more beautiful than here. It's really nice, you know, the people, the food. Oh, you want to eat some good lobster for $20, you know, you can go less than $20. I think it's like $14 for a giant lobster at a restaurant here in Rodadero, right on the beach. You can watch the ocean sunset while you're digging in. It's really good. Highly recommend it that people do that. A lot of us leave the United States thinking, okay, well, I'll get to Costa Rica and I'm gonna find me a job, right? And we leave the United States, we get to the country where we're going, we find a house or apartment that's similar to the necessities that we need and the lifestyle that we had in the United States. And then they don't think, how am I going to pay for this? What am I going to do for money? So you're going to go and get a job in a foreign country. Number one, they're not going to give you the job. They won't. Colombia especially. I think all of Latin America right now is the same as head to head. If you get to a certain age, I'm pushing 50, so no one's going to hire a 50-year-old, no matter how much experience we have, right? Because they want to give the younger kids, the younger generation, the chance, right? We supposedly already had our chance, right? So it's very important that before you leave the US or Europe or Asia or wherever you're coming from, that you have that stability, that you leave with a work from home job. I was blessed to find the company I work for. It's called Motivated Sellers. And they do offer services for the real estate industry back in the United States. The real estate industry is very lucrative back home. They make a lot of money, real good money. So now with this pandemic going on, a lot of the work it's been doing it from home, from the computers. So we hire people, we train them to go and make money in the real estate industry, and I've made good money. It was good money to even go back home and continue with this job, right? I was just making that much money, and I was blessed, right? Because when I left and got to Costa Rica, the first thing I did was try to find a job to provide for my family, because I left in May and my family didn't get there until October. So I had that time to find the house, receive the furniture, unload the furniture, put it in the house and everything, and then find a job to provide. Well, guess what? You get over there and you're making $500-600 a month and your rent $700. So how in the world do they do this? Now I understand why there's, 5 people that are grown in one household, right? You'll have mom, some of her kids, their wives and their children all living in one house, because that's what it takes to pay the bills. That's one thing that none of us expats thought about. I'm going to leave the United States now and I'm going to go over there and then live off of what? If you're retired and you have a pension, okay, I believe it. $2,000 a month pension can get you by in Colombia, but not in Costa Rica, or barely away in Costa Rica. Another good country I've heard is Ecuador and Nicaragua. Even though Nicaragua has a lot of problems, there's a big community on the south side of Nicaragua called San Juan del Sur that's on the border with Costa Rica. That's real cheap and really nice to live too. So I think that's one of the most important things that you want to consider while leaving your country is, what am I going to do for work? So yeah, I would highly suggest that. My family. My family. My family to me is the most important. Their well-being, their security. I want to make sure that they don't need anything. I work really hard, and that's a blessing to have a job the way that I have, that it doesn't matter where I go, I can work. I can even work using the hotspot on my cell phone. And I do it all the time. You can sit at the beach and sit there and work my 6-8 hours and go back home, and it's a true blessing. I would go back to the me after high school, because when I left high school, I went to Costa Rica and I roamed around the whole country, and it was beautiful. And I would definitely tell myself to invest in land over there, because you go try to buy a house now and you're paying American prices. It's ridiculous. what tourism has done to the country. So I would definitely tell myself to go back and invest your money. Don't go wasting your money away on dumb things. Go to Costa Rica, buy you some land close to an ocean somewhere, and build. That's my plan now. I want to have my own Texas barbecue. I don't know if you've ever been to Texas, but we have the best barbecue in the world, and it's all smoked on wood, and the flavor is just so delicious. And I want to build something like that next to an ocean. If it's in Colombia, great, and more than likely it'll end up being in Costa Rica. Who knows? Whatever my future holds.